Hi, this is Simon Leung from simonleung.com. Welcome back to my show and happy double 11 day. Today is 11 11 1111, and for many of us, we don't really know what that means and probably don't mean anything at all. But since today is such a special day, we decided to go live even though I had initially planned on today taking the day off simply because that's what we talked about yesterday, moving forward, right? And so, with all the different things that I want to do in terms of moving forward, I do have a lot of plans. I did get up a little bit early today, I believe at around 4 a.m. my time. I was already hard at work doing a lot of different things. I recorded a video today, which is why I actually did my hair a little bit. Normally, you can see that it's very messy and things like that. And so busy today that we haven't even gone out yet for our walk and exercise and all those things just around our complex because we have no other choice. We can't go to the gym, we can't go outside, we can't go to the beach nearby, which is just walking distance because we are on lockdown. But regardless, we talked about moving forward and all those really cool things yesterday. And that's exactly what we are going to do. Now, if you're joining us here for the very first time, a huge welcome to all of you, of course. Be sure to subscribe if you're joining us on the YouTube channel or like the page. If you're joining us on Facebook, turn on those notifications so that whenever we do go live, we can see you and interact with you. Now, why did I decide to go live today, even though I previously decided that I wasn't going to? As I mentioned, today is some kind of a special day. If you're a marketer, if you're anything spiritual, or if you're just a business person, I think this number 1111 could play a kind of a significant role in terms of what we normally do. So before we actually get into all of that, if you are joining us again, make sure that you say hi, leave a comment, let us know that you are here because a lot of what we do, especially during these live streams, is we want to interact with you as much as possible. Answer your questions if you have any. Let me know what are your thoughts on some of the topics because it's not every day that we go live and it's always at different times. Sometimes we will get similar times a few days in a row just because I just got into the habit of being in those time zones. But sometimes, right now it's close to 1 p.m. my time. But other days I might actually be on at night, in the afternoon, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the middle of the night, you name it. Okay, so this is an opportunity for us to connect with a lot of people from all around the world. And so if you are here, definitely a huge welcome. One thing that I do want to note is I believe some of you might be joining us from inside of my private mastermind group, which you can find out more about at simonleung.com/mastermind. Again, it's simonleung.com/mastermind. It is a relatively new mastermind group, so there's not much activity that is happening on right now. But of course, if you are there and you want to join us, make sure that you join. But if you're inside the group right now, do note that I'm not able to see you, your name, or your photo. It just shows up as Facebook user. Unfortunately, that's what it does with Restream. Okay, so let's go ahead and if you can, reconnect with me either on YouTube or on my Facebook page, and this will be a great opportunity for us to connect. So moving forward a little bit more, let's talk a little bit more about what today really means to us as marketers, as business individuals, or maybe if you're at the crossroads right now. I think many of us are also at crossroads, whether you're talking about, because of the US elections, because of everything that's going on with the pandemic, whether because you feel like you're not really happy in where you are in your life right now. I believe that in a lot of different cases, we will get something that we call a divine intervention. Okay, so higher beings, whether it's a relative from the beyond, a loved one from the beyond, or whether it's an angel, or whether it's some other form of higher power, we are being communicated with all the time. And so to me, whether or not this is something that you believe in, it doesn't really matter. That's not really the main topic of the day. But of course, if you are interested in something like this simply because you yourself maybe have experienced seeing 1111 a lot of times, right? Or maybe another set of number just so happened to be more prevalent to you. For example, this 1111 actually didn't appear to me, at least not in my recollection, not in the way that I noticed it, to the point where I'm like, oh, I see that again, until quite recently. I would say maybe 1 or 2 years ago. Before that, for almost a decade, maybe even more, in fact, for whatever reason, I was seeing 1227 a lot. And 1227, for me personally, I do have some relatives whose birthdays are connected to that, but I also have some memories or people or connections from the past that also 1227 is related to. And so I never really understood fully what that meant. It still comes and goes, maybe every once in a while these days, but not so much that I always notice it. Now it's almost more often than not 1111, almost on a daily basis, and sometimes even several times on a daily basis. So I did mention that during a lot of these live streams, right, I usually do talk about a lot of different things, not necessarily about internet marketing related or online business, but more so leadership, more so personal development, more so even a little bit touching on, spirituality, or your own strength, or how you can improve yourself over time based on a variety of things that might be happening around us, based on current events, based on special occasions and dates. For example, today, which is 1111. And so even though I previously had no intention even to go out for my walk today, I did talk about this yesterday with my family. Hey, do we want to go out tomorrow? Then we said, yeah, sure, why not? Let's see how it goes. We still didn't know what that would entail, because today we had other things going on and we're waiting for grocery delivery and things like that. So our schedule, even though we're always at home, it's kind of up in the air. But because of the special dates, I figured why not try and pack in as many things as we can. And so I did my thing at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I was already engrossed in my work. And right now it's again only about 1 p.m. I've already had my second meal, and we're gonna probably, right after this is over, gonna go out. So I don't intend for today to be very long at all. I just kind of want to share a little bit about my experience with 1111. And so for those of you who have similar experiences on this special day of November 11th, 1111, hopefully it could mean something to you as well. Now, for all of us who are marketers, for all of us who maybe are doing online business or aspiring to be online entrepreneurs, we may notice that for 1111, it is in fact something that is of e-commerce value, right? Because there is something that is called the 1111 sale. And so every year, pretty much in anticipation for 1111, there are, if you are a seller, if you are a platform like Lazada, like Amazon, like Shopee, or whatever else, right? Like eBay or 11th Street, usually 1111 is the big dates of the year where you can expect all these great, amazing deals in the online retail space, right? And so for all of us who are sellers, this is a good marketing lesson, because 1111 represents a marketing lesson. It represents a date where we can potentially see an influx in sales, have an increase in business, because it represents a day that is supposed to be designed for increasing business. You're going to offer a deal, you're going to offer some type of offer, and then more and more people are going to buy. And so we talk about this in many different aspects. One of the more recent times that I did talk about this outside of my live classes and my live courses and things like that was, and I talk about this a lot in my live streams, the 14-day Groove-A-Thon. I had the pleasure, the opportunity, the privilege to host what we call Groove at Nights, which usually starts around this time for all those 14 days because it was the middle of the night, or at least nighttime, evening time in the US. And so during those dates, I would either host or co-host or be in the back trying to just make sure that everything is going fine during the night hours if we do have some other people to represent. But during those sessions, of course, every single day I would be in front of this camera on this chair for anywhere between 4 to 8 hours. In fact, every single session, with the exception of one, it was a minimum of 8 hours. And so for all those different types of sessions, I talked a lot about internet marketing, about entrepreneurship. So if you're interested to learn more about not only what I talked about, but also what others talked about during the entire 14-day Groove-A-Thon, which lasted for 2 full weeks and had over 300 hours of consecutive content, definitely check it out. simonleon.com/Groove-A-Thon. We will continue to upload more and more replays and content over time. So be sure to at least bookmark it right now. Take a look at some of the videos and links that are already on this page at this moment. And of course, check out whatever you can. We will continue to add in more content over time. Now, the very first official session that I had, which was actually on the first night of the Groove-A-Thon, first host of the Groove at Night, I was on for 4 hours. And during those 4 hours, I talked a lot about business models. I talked a lot about how you can leverage the power of Groove, as you can see over here, to build your own business, to make money online, to start something new, especially if you're new to the community, especially if you're brand new to the online world, especially if it's because of the pandemic and everything that happened in 2020 that made you realize for the first time in your life that you need some alternate suggestions on what you can do with your life. Right. And so for many people, they're just simply getting started. And so for 4 hours, I believe during the first day, I talked about a wide variety of business models. And one of the ones that I did talk about was on the topic of e-commerce. So today we're not going to go into detail. I can't show you all the things that I did talk about during the Groove-A-Thon, but the good news is, of course, everything has been recorded for you already. So whenever those are ready and whenever you are ready, go check out simonleon.com/Groove-A-Thon and take a look at some of the content that I had already shared with you, not just during those 4 hours on the first day, but of course the subsequent 13 days afterwards, because it literally was, just tons and tons of content. Over 300 hours, I mentioned, of the Groove-A-Thon. My own personal sessions alone, they were over 80 hours. Okay, so definitely a ton of great content for you to absorb whenever you do get the chance. And like I said, I was talking mostly about e-commerce, and that's really one of the big takeaways on the whole 11/11 thing today, is because we do use this as an opportunity as sellers, as marketers, to offer deals, but it doesn't necessarily only have to happen on 11/11. For example, I've been talking a lot about Groove, right? And Groove, they actually have a current offer that is continuing to happen, and they didn't launch it on 11/11. In fact, if you don't know too much about Groove, you can go to myinternetbuilder.com to learn more about how you can join the Groove community for life for free. Now, here's the thing. It wasn't always intended to be a lifetime free membership like it is right now. In fact, late last year, when everything Groove was still being constructed, they were planning on creating a whole series of different software products that, much like many of the other products out there, they were eventually gonna sell each and every single one of them for at least $97 a month. right? So if it's something like a page builder, if it's something like a funnel creator or an autoresponder or a membership site platform or video marketing software or whatever else, webinar platform, live streaming technology like the one that we're using right now, they actually intended for all of these different pieces of software to be anywhere at the minimum $97 USD every single month. And if they wanted to upgrade, if they wanted some more advanced technology, they would increase to $197 a month or $297 a month. And if they want the entire package, I'm sure they would have figured out maybe that, you know, they would offer something for $997 a month or maybe even beyond that. I don't know, right? Whatever the plan was at that time, guess what? They were flexible. They adapted. 2020 happened. And so around March, when the entire world, including myself included, right here in Malaysia, we went into lockdown. What happened was the founders, the owners, the powers that be in the Groove community, they decided that they were going to do something unprecedented, right? They were not going to charge the $97 a month anymore. In fact, they converted their entire platform to free. Okay, so when it came to free, when it came to giving back and providing people the opportunity at that time in March, not today, 11/11. If they had waited until November 11th, they would have lost out so many hundreds of thousands of customers, of members, of people who eventually ended up giving them multiple $1 million days. Okay, so whether you want to use 11/11, the date, as an example, or use Groove as the role model over here, the point that I'm trying to make is that when you make an offer as a business person, when you decide that you want to present something of value for whatever reason, it doesn't have to be because it's 11/11. It doesn't have to be necessarily because of the pandemic. It doesn't necessarily have to be because of any local or global crisis or any current events or any other reason other than the fact that you feel like it, you want today. It's because it's Wednesday, right? Or because it's the second weekend of November of the month that is coming up, or we're about 7 or 6 weeks left in 2020. We want to make it count, right? Whatever reason you want it to be, it doesn't have to be a real reason. You can make it up. You're the boss. You make the call. So whether it's because Black Friday is coming up, whether you want every Friday to be your own Black Friday, I've seen groups where they label every Friday as Promo Friday. So everybody in those groups, they can promote themselves, or they can make special offers, or they can tell them more about how they can connect with them and get special deals or whatever else. They just decided that every single Friday would be Promo Friday. You can do the same thing. So the point is, yes, today is 11/11. The marketing lesson, of course, is it doesn't have to be 11/11 before you make any types of those decisions. So before we move on into some additional reasons why I think 11/11 could actually be a little bit more impactful for those of us who are just a little bit more spiritual, believing in more divine things and healing and be more optimistic and positive. I think right now during these times, especially all the recent crises that's been happening all around the world, we want to open up our options. We want to be as open as possible to different possibilities of not only depending on yourself, but of course of higher power, of divine intervention, and maybe even something or someone from the great beyond trying to communicate with us to help us in our humble little journey that we call life. So if you are here and you're joining us, I congratulate you. I welcome you. Please go ahead and leave in the comments, leave a message, say hi. How are you doing? Let me know where you are from. Let me know where you're watching me from right now. Let me know what time it is, where you're at, so that we can get to know you just a little bit better. So earlier, I mentioned that for me personally, yes, 11/11 is a special day, not only because it's the day of the sales, it's not only because it's the day that you can offer something, because you can offer a special deal anytime that you want, just like our friends in the Groove community, and just like everyone else right now who's doing it for 11/11, right? But here's the thing. Now, when I talk about how I always see the number 11/11, and I had consecutively and consistently been seeing this days and days and days at a time, I decided that I was gonna look it up. And one of the random times that I first realized that it meant much more than just a coincidence was, it was very random. I was scrolling through a Facebook news feed at some point in the middle of the night on one of the nights. I think it was probably 1 or 2 years ago by now. And in one of the groups that I was in, it was just some YouTuber group about people giving people advice on how to become a YouTuber, how to make money with videos. And it was just one of those groups that I'm in, but I don't interact. And sometimes it just shows up on my Facebook newsfeed and I see what other people are saying. So most of the time, whenever that group does come up in my newsfeed, it's because somebody is promoting their video and they say, hey, can you check out my thumbnail, or can you see if this is something that you would like to watch, or please subscribe and like this video, or whatever else. For whatever reason, on that particular day, that coincidentally, or maybe not so coincidentally to me, during those 1 or 2 days, I remember vividly that the number 11/11 just so happened to show up so many different times, whether it was on the clock when I was looking at the time, whether it was, it was just appearing consecutively on my social media. Like I see one here for the likes, and then 11 here for the comments, and then another one for the number of shares, right? Those types of random ways of seeing 11/11. I see them in signs, I see them in magazines, I see them on license plates when we're outside, and just really random situations where I'm seeing 11/11. And I remember thinking to myself, maybe I should look this up at some point to see if it means something much more bigger than just a coincidence. And so as I was scrolling through the Facebook newsfeed, not because I was looking for it specifically, I was just bored. I was scrolling through just like how all of us normally would be scrolling through. Somehow, some way, in this YouTuber group, I saw a video from somebody who is explaining what 11/11 means. And I think the title of this video was like something like, "Are you seeing 11/11 all over the place?" And I was like, yeah, actually, I was. And so I knew that it couldn't possibly have just been a coincidence, right? Because it could have just said 11/11, what it means. No, instead it asked the question directly, right? And it was directly to me, where my reaction was, the answer was yes. And it was something that I had been meaning to look up for a while, but never really did, because I never really felt the reason to. I never felt compelled to. And for whatever reason, I think because I was such a procrastinator, I didn't do it. Somehow, the meaning decided to come to me. And so, of course, I saw the video, I saw the thumbnail, I clicked on it, I watched it, and it was my first experience in terms of learning about what 11/11 might actually mean to you. So if, again, this is something that you as well have been experiencing, whether you're watching us live right now, or you're watching us on the replay, or whether you somehow search for it, or somehow it's somehow just like mine with my experience, somehow just got in front of your eyes randomly, right? This is our opportunity, I would say, to learn more about what this or any other number that you might actually see could mean to us. One of the first things that came to mind was that whenever you see that 11/11, whether it's on the time, whether it's in the book, whether it's in the magazine, whether it's randomly in a whole series of other numbers, somebody else said it, somebody else put it into their comments, or whatever kind of random reason, a lot of times What that means is that an opportunity is either opening up or about to open up for us. What does that actually mean? It means that we need to keep in mind the moment that you see 1111, you need to, and we talk about this all the time, right? Take a step back. Recall, what were you thinking about at that point in time? Were you thinking about some type of an idea? Did you have some type of new business concept? Were you thinking about a certain person? Were you thinking about a certain way to do something? Were you thinking about a certain type of opportunity? Were you thinking about considering starting another kind of project? Okay, because what that's telling us is that if you're thinking about something and you see 1111, is that divine intervention that I was talking about, whether it's an angel, whether it's a loved one from beyond, whether it's some type of a wake-up call, right? This is somebody or something telling us that we need to remember what we're thinking about at that point in time, because it means that we are heading to the right path. It means that whatever you're thinking about at that point in time is the right decision for you. It's what you should be chasing. It's what you should be going after. And I know it sounds kind of hokey pokey. It sounds maybe kind of weird, especially for those of you who may not necessarily be spiritual, who may not necessarily believe in those types of energy or whatever. I can tell you, usually I'm not one of those people either. I do not make it a practice to look things up and read books on that topic. I don't really make it a point to think about that kind of stuff or talk about this to other people, but it's an experience that I cannot deny, because ever since having that epiphany, being able to see that message and watch that video, which told me to be mindful of what I was thinking about whenever I see those 1111 numbers, I will tell you, everything that I had considered during those times and collected during those times, they all turned into gold. They all turn into amazing opportunities. They all turn into stepping stones. They all turn into realizations in one form or another, whether it's positive and sometimes it's negative, right? It actually gave me the thought that I should really be focusing on this. And that's whatever I was thinking about at that time really did teach me something. Okay, so definitely take this to heart. Take it as you will. Believe it, don't believe it. It doesn't really matter to me one way or another. But seeing that today is 11/11, I decided that I was going to share just a little bit of that with you. Now, of course, that was my first experience learning from 1111, or learning about 1111 from that video, telling me that I need to be mindful of what I was thinking. But later on, I decided that I did want to learn more, and I did some additional research. And sure, there are tons of content out there, much like I would say in internet marketing, in entrepreneurship, in business, internet or offline, it doesn't matter. There is so much content out there. You simply cannot believe every hokey pokey stuff, right? You cannot believe everything that you read. You cannot believe everything that you watch. You simply cannot believe everything that other people say. A lot of times, the only way that you will be able to be sure what works and what doesn't is with your own experience. Try it, learn it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Nobody can tell you whether or not something works or not, except for you. So I believe that for me, this was a great opportunity for me to learn even more. And so the only ones that I'm going to share with you here today is definitely the ones that have been impactful to me. Before I actually continue on with those thoughts, I want to say hi to a couple of you who are saying hi to me. We have BK Tan saying hi from YouTube. You are from KL, Malaysia. So fellow Malaysian, actually, I'm not Malaysian, but I am here in Malaysia, and I will be here in Malaysia for the foreseeable future without actually leaving the country or going anywhere else, because we are on lockdown, right? Over here, we call it CMCO, which is conditional movement control order. I cannot leave the country. I can't even leave my vicinity. I can't even leave my house right now because our entire city, actually, our entire country, with the exception of a few different states, are on lockdown. So hope you're doing well. BK10 in KL, Malaysia. I believe you guys started your CMCO before we did. It's been a few weeks already, so hope all is well. I haven't really been up to date with the different cases or anything like that, but hope that everything is going good for you, that you're keeping safe and healthy along with your family. Thank you very much for joining us from KL. Better Than Ever is saying, hey, from Virginia. Thank you very much for joining us from Virginia. It is getting late in the US for you, so thank you for staying up with us and joining us all the way from Virginia. Katz, welcome back. Katz says, hey, Simon, watching from St. Augustine in Florida. You are in Eastern time, so it's past midnight for you already. It is also 11:11 where you are, so happy 11:11. Hope that you will have a super, super cool day and make it amazing. Better Than Ever is saying true, and BK Tan is saying yes. Very cool. So for all of you who are just joining us, congratulations and a huge welcome. I didn't really say hi to any of my fellow members of my community, but we can always count on someone like Jessica to get the notifications. And sometimes she joins us live and sometimes she doesn't, but whenever she does, it's always a great opportunity. And she says, hey, Simon, happy 11:11. Thankfully, Nicholas just messaged me to tell you that you're on live now. Hey, Nicholas. Okay, so it wasn't the notification. It's actually Nicholas. And speaking of Nicholas is saying, hey, Jess, glad to help. So thank you to the both of you for joining us. We're talking a little bit about something different today. We're not talking about, politics. We're not getting too much into pandemics and all those different things. In fact, we don't even talk too much about internet marketing. I did, for those of you who are just joining us and missed out on what I talked about earlier, we did talk about how 11:11 means something quite big when it comes to the world of e-commerce, when it comes to internet marketing. We also had a marketing lesson that was derived from this lesson as well. So definitely worth a rewind to watch the replay after, of course, this is over so that you don't miss us while we're live either. But if you're more interested in the marketing aspect, the e-commerce is definitely worth a peek for those of you who missed out on it. Jessica is also saying, hey, Nicholas, thanks for having my back. Great. That's what our team is all about. So we just talked about 11:11, and I think for somebody like Jessica, maybe you would be able to contribute some of your thoughts as well, because we're basically talking about on a more spiritual kind of basis what 11:11 or any other number for that matter could potentially mean to you if you consistently see it, if it's all over the place. And I was talking about how I always see 11:11, and it's not just obviously today and looking at the calendar all day because it's November 11th, but almost without fail, every single time it's 11:11 a.m. or 11:11 p.m., I just so happen to be checking out the time at that point in time, and I see 11:11. And not only that, I talked about how in signs, in books, in magazines, on license plates, just everywhere, on random places, on the computer, in social media, I see 1111 literally all over the place. And for a long time, I never really knew what that meant. So I talked about how a lot of it has to do with perhaps a divine intervention telling us that we need to think about more positively what we are having thoughts about at that point in time, and it could potentially be good news for us. So that's what I talked about first. Another aspect or another potential reason is maybe at that point in time, you might also be whether thinking about something unpleasant, or maybe something unpleasant or negative is happening to you or around you. And when 11:11 appears, it's basically a reminder that we need to change our unpleasant and negative thoughts into positive thoughts, because positive thoughts are going to attract more positivity in our lives. And so if you are a believer of that, and if you believe that when you think of positive things, that more positive things are going to happen to you, well, of course, then this divine intervention is trying to communicate that to us. Stop the negativity, stop the complaining, stop the whining, stop the hating and the bickering, right? Even if I'm not doing it, but I'm thinking about other people doing it, or I've been looking at the social media feeds for far too long of people bickering and just really at each other's heads, that to the point where I literally would be impacted, whether negatively myself or subconsciously having those type of thoughts or wanting to talk about it or lash out or somehow ruining your mood or whatever other reason. It is something or somebody or something of a higher power, right? Telling us that we need to change our thoughts into positive ones. And when we do that, it will help us to attract the happiness, the wealth, the health, the positivity, and whatever else that you're trying to seek in your life. Okay, so that's yet another reason why from my own personal experience that I have learned along the way as a potential reason 1111 might show up. Yet another reason that, again, from my own personal experience, right, has actually made an impact whenever I saw 1111 is, again, a higher power suggesting that I need to ask for help. Something is happening in my life right now. Something has been happening or something is about to happen that I'm not even aware of yet. But of course, the higher power and everything around us, they know, right? They know what's happening. And it's a message. It's telling us that, or telling me in my specific situation, and will be telling us as well, if you as well share the same views, share the same beliefs, and also share your experience seeing the same number, 1111, it means that we need to ask for help. That means that we need to swallow our pride, let go of our ego, stop thinking that, oh yeah, I am an expert in internet marketing. I cannot possibly ask for help about anything, whether it's about work, whether it's about personal reasons, or whether it's about something else that obviously we don't know anything about, right? It's that divine intervention telling us that we need to ask for help in certain aspect or a specific aspect in our life. And it could be something that I might be thinking about at that point, something that I'm dwelling in terms of a problem, and it's telling me that I cannot solve this problem by myself. Or it can be telling me that there is going to be a problem that is going to come in your way. And you need to know that you are not alone. You need to know that you have others who are close to you, who maybe is right next to you, or somebody that you know in your network who will be able to help. So it's a message telling us that we don't have to go through what we're going through all on our own. Okay, yet another reason that we might be seeing 1111. And again, this is one of the different types of experiences that I had, because I will tell you, throughout many different times in my life, I can get very busy and I can get really engrossed in my work, in my business, in my meetings, in whatever else that I might be focusing on at the time. And I will completely neglect not just my loved ones, right? But also the important things around me. Also things that were already on my calendar, already on my schedule that I was supposed to do, things that were already planned that I pushed aside, or things that I procrastinated on, things that I let go for a very long time. Maybe they're weeks, months, or even years overdue. It is a reminder that you need to be responsible for what you've promised. It's a reminder that you need to treasure what you have. Stop always wanting more. In reality, I think that for most of us, if we really think about it, we already have everything that we would need to live. We would have access to resources available, whether it's a skill, right? You want to make sure that you survive, you have the skill, right? Not all of us necessarily are lucky enough to have all of our limbs right? But if you do have one arm or two arms, or if you have your brain and you can think, or if you can talk, or you have computer skills, or you can do one and you can communicate and you can do another thing, or whatever else, all of us, technically speaking, have some type of skill or capability that will allow us to make a living, that will allow us to get a job, that will allow us to survive. So we don't always have to be so engrossed in what we want to do or are focusing on with the intention, with the goal of getting more, with not being satisfied with what we have. Again, I am always guilty of the same thing, which is why I always say, whenever I have this type of divine intervention, it is a reminder for me to welcome myself back on planet Earth, to welcome myself back into a normal trade of thought, to not always want more, to not be more greedy, to not be more just wanting more things in life, right? And like I said, I am guilty of it because of my line of work, because of what I do. No, I'm not going to buy a Ferrari or a Lamborghini just so that I can show off with pictures and video, or even rent one like what some people do, right? We're going to talk about those more another time. But in reality, if you already have, let's say, a car, you are so much better off, any car, right? So much better off than many other people. And yeah, maybe I have a car that is a little bit nicer, but when you have something that's nicer, you always want something more. And so I can be really frustrated and say, oh, I wish I had that car. But then somebody who's driving really a crappy car that sometimes doesn't even run or doesn't even start, they will see what I have and they will be envious. And then those who don't even have a car, they will see that person's crappy car, and maybe that person only can catch the bus, right? And take the bus because they can't afford a car. And so now that person is envious. And then another person is not so happy because they're only taking the bus, but then somebody who is forced to ride a bike or go around on a skateboard because they cannot even afford the bus. They can't afford public transportation. Now they are envious. And then, of course, they're not happy with what they have. And then they run across some people who maybe they can't even walk, or they don't even have, as I mentioned earlier, all their limbs, right? They don't have all their capabilities to be able to live what we call a normal life. And here's the thing. At some point or another, you just need to be satisfied with what you have. At some point or another, you need to be reminded that we are all very fortunate the way that we already are. If you have the capability to watch me right now, either you're on the laptop, you're on the computer, you're on your phone, you're on your iPad or your tablet device or whatever else, and you also have internet connection. We are all very fortunate to have all these things, aren't we? So many people, they don't, it's not even close. A lot of people are struggling just to put food on the table, just to survive. They don't even have the opportunity to dream, because the environment that they live in, where they are right now, their own society, they don't even give them the opportunity to dream. And so at some point in our lives, we need that reminder. And I can't tell you how many times I always think that I want more. And that's why I am so engrossed in what I do. That's why I continue to focus on businesses and in my work, that I neglect things around me. And usually it's during those times, of course, I'm working and I'm doing whatever else, and my door is closed and the walls is all that I have, and my family is just outside on the other side of the wall. But yet I haven't seen them the entire day. And then I look at the clock, it's 11:11, right? So that, in my experience, is a reminder to treasure what you have, appreciate your loved ones, keep memories alive. Because the easiest thing that we can let go, with that door closed, time really just flies right by. And before you know it, weeks have gone by, months have gone by, years have gone by, and we missed all the important moments of our family's lives. We missed all the important moments that otherwise would have been forgotten. And we just never experienced it. And why do I say I should feel very lucky? Because most people, they weren't even given the opportunity to be with their families or be with their kids when they're young, to watch them and hold them by the hands as they watch them take their first steps, or help them to enunciate as they speak their first words, because they had to go out and they had to work and they miss all those precious moments. I'm very lucky because I was there for all those moments. But it's also very easy for us to lose track of that and to take all of that for granted, isn't it? It's easy for us to forget that there are more precious moments and more precious memories every single day that we should be creating with our family, with our loved ones. And right now, when everything is locked down, I should experience and I should appreciate and I should enjoy my time even more with my family than closing the door for more than a few hours a day, right? I should actually be spending more time with them and experience what most of the time a lot of people in the world don't have the opportunity to do. And of course, whenever I do need that reminder, again, whether it's looking at the clock or looking on social media or looking at whatever else, somehow, some way, I see 11:11. Right? And that is a reminder that I need to get out of my own bubble and go back out there and appreciate what I have. Cool. So let's go ahead and say hi to some of you who have been interacting with us for the last 10, 15 minutes while I was just going on and on and on. Jessica is saying, I will have to watch your replay. The good news is, I believe at the time that you joined, it was only on for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. So you wouldn't have missed that much. But yes, definitely go back, because not only do we talk about the spiritual side of 11:11, we talked a little bit about the marketing side as well as the business side. So there's always something for everybody. Jessica is saying ditto. I am always seeing 11:11. Great, cool. So you see what I see. I think we are very similar in that particular aspect. And so that's yet another course of conversation that we can take together, right? Jessica is saying divine intervention and spirituality, my favorite topics. Very cool. Sounds cool. I'm glad. I didn't know that they were your favorite topics, but it's great to know that you are involved in this. Jessica is saying, Simon, you're talking about my areas of expertise. Great. It means that one of these days, maybe when you are less shy and you're okay with going online and things like that, maybe it's time for us to have a casual chat and for us to meet you in person, not in person, but everyone can see you as you are, the human, the person form, as opposed to only seeing your photo and your comments every single time. Let me know when you're ready for that. If you enjoy talking about this, I think that this is something that we definitely can continue to discuss, because we talk about anything that can be helpful to any of our members. Jessica is also saying, change your thoughts into positive ones. Yep, that's actually what I said as well, right? So very cool. A great reminder for all of us. It is so easy for us to get our thoughts contaminated by anger, by what's going on around us, by any type of negativity. And so whenever I see myself doing that, I realize it. I take that step back that we've been talking about, and we try and change ourselves. But the good news is, for me, whenever I don't see it, sometimes I'm so engrossed now in my own feelings and emotions. I look around, I see 11:11, and that is my reminder. We have Hans Jordan from is this Great Britain? Yeah, it's from Great Britain. I see the flag. And so, good day to you. He says, morning, everyone. A very good morning to you as well. Let me know what time it is where you are right now so that we can be more accommodating in the future as well. Jessica is saying, good morning. It is 4:29 p.m. in Sydney. Thank you for joining us. It is early evening for you. Jessica is also saying, treasure what you have. Thank you for taking notes. It's absolutely one of my most important messages, treasuring and really cherishing time with your loved ones, stop wanting more, stop chasing after dreams and other things that may or may not be helpful to you or important to you in the long run. Johnny, one of our friends from the Groove-A-Thon, one of the last few individuals that I interviewed on the last day that I had guest on Groove at Night, Mr. Johnny is joining us. Thank you very much. Think of how your ability can help others to move to where they want to go. Yeah, I mean, it's all about helping other people, isn't it? And this is obviously a topic that we can go on for hours and hours and hours about. And we talked about this previously as well, about sharing value, providing value, and make sure that whatever area of expertise you might have, it could be marketing, it could be business, it could be making money online, or as Jessica is saying, spirituality and things like that is her expertise. If you feel you can somehow share your knowledge, share your experiences, I by no means am no expert in this topic. I'm just sharing my experience just because it's a relevant topic today on 11/11, right? And as Johnny is saying, whatever your ability might be, just make sure that you're able to help others, the relevant people who could benefit from what you want to share, and help to move them to where they want to go. So thank you very much, Mr. Johnny. Great to have you with us. Jessica is saying, appreciate your loved ones. Keep your memories alive. Yes, Jessica is also saying, let's create more special memories with our family, friends, and loved ones. The only people whom, at least for me right now, to create those special, continuing creating those special memories is with my small, little, humble family right now, right? The ones who live under my roof, because again, we're on lockdown. But the reason why we should learn to appreciate other people even more is because of lockdown. In 2020, do we know how many people want to see their loved ones but couldn't, want to visit their parents, their grandparents, but couldn't, simply because their area was locked down and they couldn't leave the house and they didn't have permission to do what they wanted to do? And I guess that's a big reason why people are fighting, right? And people are against different policies and they have their own perspectives and everything like that. But again, sometimes there are things that we simply can't do. There are many things that are outside of our control. So the only thing that we can do is to take control. What you can take control of without being nasty, without being unreasonable, without being irrational, we simply can create more special memories with, let's say, our immediate family. And whenever we do have the opportunity, you know, our city temporarily opened up for a few months before we went back into lockdown. And so when you do have the opportunity, take grasp of it with both hands and seize those opportunities. We've talked about all these different things. And one thing that you will notice is that each and every single one of our lessons, they all come back full circle, right? They all always come back to the same thing and they all correlate, they all intertwine, because it's all about a part of thinking positively and just knowing what you need to do in order for you to maximize the quality of your life. Jessica is saying, yes, I will love that. Awesome. I presume this was the talking about your invitation to join us live. If you're talking about something that you're good at, you're passionate about, we talked about this as well, right? Your specialty, your expertise, then you're going to forget your shyness. You're going to forget your fear. You're going to forget about being nervous and concerned and all those other things that we previously were concerned about. And you just want to share. You just want to share from your heart. You just want to make sure that you're providing value, that you're helping others. And when you do that, combined with seeing any types of reactions and comments and engagement with those who are obviously really into what you're saying, right? This will evidently and very soon expedite your quest to become what you're saying here, getting comfortable with feeling uncomfortable and stepping up, presumably as a leader, you know, within our communities, in our masterminds, and just being there, being present, and knowing that you are going to make a difference in somebody's life. Okay, so Jeanette from Hong Kong joining us again. Hi, I outside Joe. Hurry back office，係啦，快啲返公司啦！ 如果唔係你就聽唔到我要同你講啲嘢㗎啦，係。Okay, so basically we're just telling Jeanette to hurry up and go back to her office so she can watch this live. Jessica is saying UK is my birthplace and where I grew up. Where are you from in the UK? Great, having personal conversations as well. A good part of our community. Family is not just genetic. Family are also the friends you choose to be in your inner circle. Soul family. I agree. There's many kinds of family. We talk about Groove, right? As a family. We talk about my community sometimes when I'm talking to those who are actually in my insiders club, my insider circle, my inner circle of the higher level students who learn from me, who were my proteges, that I taught pretty much everything that they knew to become leaders, to become trainers, to become speakers, to be able to help other people to change their lives. Yeah, I also call them my family. Now, obviously not my direct family. I'm not gonna pay their bills. I'm not gonna, feed them every single meal, but you know what I mean, right? Family as in people that you know that you can count on, that you will be there for, and you would treat them like a brother, like a sister. Unfortunately, in my life and my experiences, what I learned along the way is that we can't simply just so easily welcome people into that closeness of our relationship. We can't be so close to the point where we would do everything for them, because if they happen to be somebody that you don't know so well, and you and I both know, we experience this a lot, people will turn your back on you. People will find something better, find someone better to trust and hang out with. And unfortunately, that is the reality. We can't always depend on other people. We can't count on their friendship. We can't count on their loyalty. We can't count on them to be trusted. And, I don't want to be a sour cat. I don't want to be negative. It's just reality. It's just what I learned in life, and something that we will continue to learn, hopefully, as time goes on. And one of the reasons, again, why we do a lot of these streams is so that you can learn from mistakes, from others, from your own, and even from me. So yes, while I do definitely consider a lot of people family, as what Jessica is saying here, not just genetic, we also will do what we can in order to devote ourselves, commit ourselves to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. As we talked about, we've done our part. We do not become the person who does the betrayal, right? We don't become the person who stabs other people in the back. We don't become the person who is selfish and greedy, and the person who ruins the relationship and destroys the relationship, right? As long as we know that we've done our best, we've done our parts, then there are absolutely no regrets. Okay, so yeah, I mean, even if it's genetic, even if it's blood related family, betrayals also can happen, right? So in reality, there really is no surefire way to protect yourself, and we just need to understand that. Jessica is saying, yes, totally agree with Simon. We are on the same wavelength. Very cool. We have Janice finally be able to join us. Good morning from London. Is that supposed to be 5:44 a.m.? As in 5:44 in the morning? Because I don't know what V0544 means, but I'm assuming it's 5:44 a.m. If it is super early for you. I was also up at 5, actually probably 4 in the morning, and I was already hard at work already, because that's the kind of commitment that we have for ourselves. But it's not going to happen every single day. But like I said, today is a very special day, 11/11. If you missed what we've been talking about thus far, make sure you watch the whole thing, because whether it's on the spiritual level, the marketing, or the business levels, 11/11 could mean something significant to you today. And then Jessica is also saying Groove community has also become my family, and Simon too. Very blessed and thankful. Very grateful to you as well, Jessica. Thank you for being a part of our community. Jessica is also saying commit to being the best version of yourself that you can be, and nothing can be further from the truth. Remember, we ask ourselves, if this is us and we are expected to clone ourselves, would you be proud of that? Is that the version of you that you once cloned? When you ask if your kids are going to learn from you, right? And you say this is the you that they are going to be learning from. Is that the you that you want them to learn? Is this the you that your parents would be proud of? Your grandparents, other family would be proud of, right? Those are all the questions that you need to ask yourself. And I know we said we're not going to get into the politics and all those things that are happening right now, not only with that, but with the pandemic and everything. Just take a step back. And if you take a look, not at yourself, just take a look at what other people are saying, what they're doing, how they are interacting with one another. And you ask yourself, do I want my kids, do I want my family to learn that, to do that? If your answer is no, then strive to be better than what we see, because we cannot control other people, but you can always control you. Johnny is back saying there are takers and givers, but focus on the butterfly effect of your good expectations. So butterfly effect, obviously paying homage to Mike Filsame of Butterfly Marketing. Yeah, absolutely. Small changes, small tasks, right, can have huge effects, make huge differences. I can't tell you how many times just because I decided that I was going to wake up a little bit earlier, or because I was late to a certain event, or because we spent too long at a restaurant, or spent too long doing one or two other things, it led me to different paths in my life. If you were with me for the Groove-A-Thon that you can learn more about at simonleon.com/Groove-A-Thon. I won't get into the entire story right now, but on the 17th of October, this was one of the days of the Groove-A-Thon. Why do I remember that? Because on October 17th, 1989, it was one of the biggest earthquakes in modern day history in San Francisco. And I was probably literally 10 or 15 minutes away from not being here anymore today. And it's all because of a lot of different reasons, from our car getting hijacked, from not hijacked as in it was stolen, but it was actually vandalized. And it was because of that, we decided to cut our trip short, and we visited a friend, and we took an hour detour, and we decided to not make stops. We decided to go consistently at a certain speed, and all those small butterfly effects, all those small reasons combined, it was because of that we made it across the Bay Bridge 10 minutes before it collapsed as a result of the 1989 earthquake in San Francisco. And that, of course, is only one of many other examples that I can share with you, from accidents that I avoided to bigger, global events, even 9/11, right? I was supposed to be in New York during that time, but because of a variety of different reasons, I did not join my class. And so as a result, maybe it would have impacted me one way or another. I don't know. If I had been in New York, would I be where those towers had been, or would I be anywhere else around the, tragic events or whatever else? I cannot speculate, but I will tell you that is yet another example of a butterfly effect, where as a result of one or two small things, I was able to avoid what could have been a disaster. So all these different things, as they say, happen for a reason. And as Johnny is saying, if you have good expectations, if you're lucky to be able to avoid tragedy, if you're lucky enough and fortunate enough to be where you are today, if you're able to watch me right now, we are more fortunate than so many people out there who not only cannot afford a phone, cannot afford internet, they can't even afford food, right? And so that's where Johnny's message comes in. Takers and givers. Don't just be a taker. Don't just be somebody who says, well, I want to be a part of this community so that I can take, I can learn, people can help me. The way that you're going to get even more is when you become a giver. And as a result of my giving, let's just say, for example, inside of the Groove community, I had been, I wouldn't say I was given more opportunities. I would say that I earned a lot more opportunities. I earned the opportunity to increase exposure. I earned the opportunity to learn different skills like live streaming. I earned the opportunity to create my own mastermind group. I earned the opportunity to be a bigger part of the Groove community, to be a part of the Groove company. I earned the opportunity to potentially partner with people like Mike Filsaime and John Cornetta and Donna Fox and all the other co-founders of the entire Groove Digital company. I earned those opportunities, not because I was there taking and seeing what can Groove do for me. I was there selflessly sharing and saying, what can I do for the community? So same thing goes for you, right? The more that you give, the more that you will receive. So stop having the mentality of the taking and see how you can help other people. Jessica is saying the biggest betrayal is to betray your own soul. So know what is right, know what you need to do, and definitely do not betray your own integrity. Janice is saying, yes, it's AM, Simon. Wow, so it is 5 a.m., almost 6 a.m. now, quite early, but welcome. Very early. Maybe the sun isn't even up yet, but if you're up this early, you probably have something to do, something incredible. Hope you have an amazing day. Jessica is saying hi to Janice. Good to see you again. Nicholas is saying, been busy making videos for Groove support, 45 in the list now, trying to provide info for free every single day. Thank you very much for doing that, Nicholas. I'm sure our community at Groove appreciates that. And I'm sure your work will also not go without being noticed. So keep up the great work. Together, let's change more lives. Jessica is saying, thank you, Nicholas. Really appreciate you for doing this for us. Yep, for sure. I double that sentiment. And then Jessica is talking about the ripple effect. Janice is saying, hello, Jessica. Jessica is saying, divine intervention and miracles has saved my life so many times. And 5 to 6 times I almost died this year. Yeah, a lot of powerful stories that you can definitely be sharing with us as well, similar to some of which you have shared with me. Obviously, it's up to you, but I believe that the more that you share, especially for those who are interested in topic and believe in this, it would help them tremendously. Jessica is also saying, yes, we are more fortunate than most people if we are watching this. I also earned the opportunity to have Simon as my mentor and accountability partner, known him since 2009. Yeah, that's a long time. It's been 11 years. And so hopefully all this time you've been able to capture some additional value as a result. Going back a little bit into what we are talking about today, which is we are in 2020, but today we're celebrating 11/11, which is November 11th. And so I decided to go off topic a little bit. Actually, there is no topic to go off of, unless you count, elections and pandemic and, civil unrest and all those different things. But those aren't our normal topics anyway. Today, we are still talking about marketing /life// spiritual lessons, all influenced and inspired by the power of 11/11. In fact, the missus right outside on the other side of this wall, she's probably still looking on her shopping apps and seeing what are some of the best deals for shopping today, because it is 11/11. And so if you're trying to get some marketing lessons out of this and you want to see how you can actually take advantage of special deals and offers, keep in mind, if you're just joining us, to go back and watch us from the beginning, because we talked about that earlier on within the first 20 to 30 minutes, something like that. And of course, after this session is over, I would recommend and encourage you to watch the replay, comment on it if you have any thoughts about it, because we always appreciate interacting with you, whether it's live or after the fact. Okay, so we've talked about how your thoughts are important. It means that your opportunity is opening up to you. Unpleasant thoughts needs to be changed into positive ones. We also talked about how you need to ask for help, as well as the reminder to treasure what you have, appreciate your loved ones, and keeping memories alive. Those are all things that are related to 11/11, because when we talk about me seeing the numbers 11/11, usually they are there to remind me that I need to either take some type of action or change my mindset about something towards a much more positive path in my life. And speaking of being on a positive path, another instance of when I see 1111 is when I find myself to be on a path of what I call an awakening, or maybe if I am already on the right side of the road, if I'm already doing something correctly, if I am being guided towards the right path. And maybe it might be a fork. Maybe I have a decision to make, or maybe I'm already leaning towards a decision. When I see 1111, it's almost like a confirmation to me that that's the path that I should go. That it's a reminder that I need to keep going, that this divine intervention, again, whether it's an angel, whether it's a higher being, a higher level of power, whether it's a loved one from beyond, is telling me and confirming me that I should go in that direction, to keep going, to not give up, to follow that guide, right? And usually when that happens, again, from my own experience, by following as a result of seeing 1111 and realizing that this is a confirmation that is the direction that I need to go, usually it does end up being of positive results. And so this is why I'm sharing this with you, right? Because a lot of times we think that a lot of things that we see that are happening around us, the numbers, the colors, the people, right? It's all random. What I've come to believe is that almost nothing is random. In fact, everything happens for a reason. The pandemic happened for a reason. The elections happened for a reason. The reason that all these people are butting heads and people are against each other and causing so much commotion and negativity, all that is happening for some kind of reason as well. Whether it's a reason for them, whether eventually they'll learn from it, or whether in the meantime, those of us who know to take a step back are learning from them, or whatever. Everything is a lesson. There is always something to be learned regardless of what is happening, whether it's positive or whether it's negative. At that point in time, it's all geared towards directing us towards the right path. So keep that in mind. And another thing on a very similar note is that sometimes I might see 1111 and nothing seems to be happening during that time. There is nothing around me. Maybe I'm just on my bed and the lights are still off, whether it's I'm about to go to sleep or whether I'm up in the morning and nothing's happening. My mind is literally blank and I'm just awake and I'm about to get up, or I'm being lazy or whatever. And then I turned around and I see at the clock, it's 11:11. Or maybe I open up something and I see 11:11 somewhere, whether it's on social media or in an article or somebody said it or whatever, right? What that means when nothing is around me and nothing is happening, meaning that I'm not being reminded of anything. I'm not being told anything. I'm not being guided. It's not a confirmation. That means that at that point in time, 11:11, I see that number. It is an indication to me that I need to set some type of goal. I need to set an intention because nothing is happening. It's a clean slate. The world is listening. The universe has opened up its ears to me. The arms are open, which means that if I wanted to set an intention, if I wanted to make a wish, if I want to steer myself towards taking some type of action, now is the time. 11:11 is the confirmation that I need to make sure that I'm always on some type of path at any given time. Even if I'm not mentally, physically, emotionally ready for it because I'm just waking up or I'm about to go to sleep and nothing is happening around me. It's pitch black, it's dead silence, and nothing is happening. It is still a call. It's still an awakening for me to set something in motion, right? To go ahead and set that intention, as I just talked about. Make a wish. What do I want? What do I want to happen tomorrow? What do I want as a wish, whether it's as generic as health to my family, to make sure that my little one is able to be healthy, that she's able to be happy, that she can learn and be smart and just be a jolly little kid as kids should be. Whatever's in your heart, right? Whatever's in your mind, whatever you're thinking about, just wish. Okay. And what I have also noticed miraculously is, as far as I can remember, just don't make those ridiculous wishes like I want $1 million tomorrow or whatever else, right? Or I want the virus, the pandemic to be over within next 24 hours. All these things is not realistic. But if you have something a lot more humble, a lot more realistic, like I want to make sure that we have a great day tomorrow. It can be something as simple as that. Maybe you're in the middle of a turmoil, or maybe you're in the middle of some type of problem, and you say, I just wish that this problem we will find a solution to, or that we are able to, make sure that tomorrow our trip, wherever you might be going, as an example, is going to be a smooth one. Our meeting is going to be great. I'm going to have a wonderful time with my family, and it's going to be a great day for us, whatever. And what I noticed is that when I do make those wishes, set those intentions, like I want this project to be successful, I want this meeting to go smoothly, I want all these things to work out, they do work out, and they do have positive results. I don't know if it's directly related to my wish, or maybe it was already meant to be or whatnot. However, I'm not going to leave anything to chance. Because I've experienced it, I'm going to share it with you. And I said that it's worked for me, just like all the other things that I've talked about also worked for me in terms of thinking positively, in terms of attracting the right type of people, success, thoughts into my own mind and turning them into reality, right? All these things actually did happen to me for the better. And as a result of the 1111, 1111, it has been able to make this type of impact in my life. And so again, that's why I'm sharing with you. Cool. So before we wrap up and close today's session from out of nowhere, but apparently some of you, it's also speaking to you as well, which is awesome. Hopefully this is something that will continue to help you along the way. And for those of you who might be watching us live or on the replay, hopefully it will also be helpful to you. Definitely check us out the entire session. If you somehow missed it, I see this as something that would be able to help you, whether it's just a one-time thing. Maybe you're not ready for absorbing this type of content right now, but in due time, maybe it will be relevant to you as well. Who knows, maybe after the realization of 1111, today, you'll finally start to see 1111 yourself or any other number, in which case that's an inspiration for you to follow your journey into figuring out what that means to you. Travel with Kamal is saying it's my birthday today. So on behalf of all of us here, happy birthday. Happy 11/11. It's a great day to be having a birthday. Definitely a very lucky number for many of us, myself included. So very cool. Again, happy birthday to you. Jessica is saying, Simon, tell everyone about getting a free account with Groove. Yeah, sure. Why not? You can always get a free account with Groove by going to myinternetbuilder.com. We've talked today about community. We've talked about family. We've talked about helping other people, not just receiving and taking, but also giving. This community is all about giving. It's all about helping one another. The moment that you go there and you get your free account, it is free for life. You will know exactly what I am talking about. Now, there is a caveat. What I'm talking about when I mean free for life, you will get free for life the community. You will get free for life training. You will get free for life support, and even the fundamental, most basic version of their software products. There is an optional upgrade, which is not obligated by any means. If you don't want to upgrade ever, it's okay. All those things that I just mentioned, you will still continue to get free for life, including access to the basic software tool. So nothing to lose. No credit card is even required. But when you are a part of the Groove community, you will be able to see exactly what we are talking about in terms of all the great value that everyone is sharing. In fact, a lot of the people who got the most value out of the Groove community, many of them haven't upgraded even yet. Okay, so that's just to show how cool this is to be able to be a part of a community where they literally have nothing in mind except your best interest. So thank you very much to Jessica for encouraging the Groove membership, and also how to join the free private mastermind group. As a matter of fact, at any given time, you can see right behind me, simonleon.com/mastermind. You will be able to join our mastermind Facebook group by going there directly. And Jessica, I believe, is very interested in being one of our leaders / coaches and mentors in our mastermind, as well as in Groove. And Nicholas, whom we heard from earlier, also providing a lot of free content in the form of video tutorials. So that's just to give you an idea on the kind of value and talent that we have inside of our communities. Janice is saying happy birthday to Kamal, and Kamal is saying thank you. Jessica is saying angels, higher beings. You are talking about my favorite topics, LOL. So if this is your favorite topic and you are the expert, definitely we should be learning from you and not be listening to me, because all I'm talking about is my own experience. And you know, whether it's the same experience to other people or for other people, I have no idea. But if what I am sharing can relate to anyone else and it can help them in the same way that it has helped me, then all of that is obviously very much worth it. Janice is saying sounds like an auspicious number. Again, Jessica, Janice, yeah, auspicious number. Jessica is the expert here. It's her favorite topic, so she will be able to tell you a lot more about that. Jessica is also saying everything happens for a reason. My new online business is all about my favorite topics that I am passionate about and expert in, as it should be, right? Because I think we talked about in one of the previous live streams what your topic should be, what you should be talking about, and how you can talk for hours and hours. And one of those things is, of course, choosing your favorite topics. Talk about things that you are passionate about. Talk about things that you are good at, that you're an expert in. And so if this just so happens to be one or more of your favorite topics, then definitely use that as your main bait. Johnny is saying it's the power of your deepest intentions that is guiding you to your path. Positive paths on positive intentions. Negative path, you better change your negative thoughts, dude. I absolutely agree. So that's exactly what I was talking about earlier when I said yet another one of my 11-11 reminders is when I am being a little bit too negative, when I am going the wrong path, when I should be thinking about something else or planning something else, or I should be just doing something else. I see that 11-11 and then I say, okay, that is somebody or something of a higher being or a higher power speaking to me. What am I doing wrong or what am I doing right? It is up to you, and it is your responsibility to figure out what that 11-11 means at that point in time. And I will tell you, I am definitely a guilty culprit of somebody who doesn't always think positively, who don't always do the right things, who don't always even have the best intentions. I'm human, just like everyone else. But I'm very glad that I do get reminded to go back onto the right track whenever I see that 11-11. Always take that step back and strive as much as you can control to be the best version of yourself that you can be. Jessica is saying set an intention, make a wish. The universe is listening and will deliver. I think you already wished happy birthday, travel with Kamal, haven't you? Or maybe it was Janice. I don't know. Too many things going on all at once, but Jessica is wishing you a very happy birthday. Also, Jessica is saying the Groove community is amazing. I am loving being part of this group, as should be anyone else who is a part of it and know that they should be, how they should be interacting and being a part of it. So many people are getting so much out of it that it is absolutely amazing what the team at Groove have created. Jessica is also saying we all have different talents to share. Robin Kirk. Yeah, wow. It's been so long, saying, hey, buddy, it's been ages since I had seen you online. I've been telling this to a lot of my followers or viewers or whoever listens to me. Facebook, for whatever reason, doesn't like me. A lot of my stuff that I post don't get out there. They don't get the exposure. They don't get into other people's timelines. And so it is what it is, right? Unfortunately, that is the truth, but it's great that somehow our live streams are able to get that exposure, get me reconnected to many old friends, including you, Robin. So great to reconnect with you. Let's definitely make it a point to catch up a lot more closer because, yeah, I think we've got some catching up to do. I think it's been over 10 years. Janice is saying, I need to connect with you, Jessica, on this subject. Why not? Jessica is passionate about it, right? So she says, yes, I can overcome my shyness and fears by talking and sharing what I am passionate about. Very cool. That is the law of attraction, Jessica. I think it's a little bit different than directly the law of attraction, but there are definitely correlations, and they're both very spiritual in that particular aspect. But definitely, if you're into the law of attraction, you will also be into what we're talking about here today as well. So I agree. They're all along the same lines. Janice is saying law of attraction, and Jessica is saying to Robin Kirk, hey Robin, welcome. Cool. As we close off our session of the day and we conclude what we're talking about, remember, if you have any final thoughts or anything, leave them in the comments right now, because if by the time I'm already saying my goodbyes and then you're commenting, keep in mind there is a 20 to 30 second delay, which means that I won't see your comments until after we've gone off the air. So if there's anything that you want to add right now, make sure to say them now. Otherwise, as they say, speak now or forever hold your peace. But for now, we're going to close off what we're talking about today, whether you're spiritual or not, whether you believe in higher powers or not, or whether or not this topic was even for you when we were talking about the divine interventions. None of that actually matter, because at the end of the night, there is a marketing lesson associated with everything that we're learning here. So whether you want to absorb it and associate yourself on the spiritual level, on the marketing level, on the business level, there is a lesson to be learned every time that we see this number 1111, or at least be inspired by it. At the end, I believe that you are still in control. Yes, there are potentially higher powers. Maybe there are divine interventions. Maybe there are angels that are looking out for you. Maybe you have loved ones who have crossed over to the beyond, and from the great beyond, they are also continuing to take care of you. It could be a variety of any one of those reasons, but keep in mind, whether or not that's true, whether or not they are doing what they can to help you, to guide you, ultimately, you are still in control of yourself, because I can see 1111. I can choose to follow it. I can choose to see it as guidance. I can choose to change my mind, or whatever it is that I'm doing, my course of action, my plans, my intentions, all at that point in time. But I can also choose to ignore it. I can choose to not pay attention to it. I can choose as if I don't see that 1111. So ultimately, yes, everything is up to you. Everything is depending on you, and you are in control. And that includes now more on the marketing end, right? A lot of people, they're thinking, oh my gosh, I cannot wait until 11/11. I cannot wait until Black Friday. I cannot wait until Christmas, because it's during these times that I will see an increase in my sales. It's because of during these times I can actually have a reason to put my products, my services on sale. It's during these times I can create some type of special offer. Wrong. You can create offers anytime that you want. Like we said for Groove, back in March, they decided that they were going to take one of their most prestigious products, and that was going to be sold for $97 a month, and they decided that they were going to give it away for free. For how long? We don't know. It wasn't a one-day thing like 11/11. It's a one-day thing. Black Friday is a one-day thing. Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever. It's a seasonal thing. So it needs to end by the end of December or after Christmas, because it's then no longer a Christmas sale anymore, is it? Now, For Groove, this is ongoing. They make the choice when they want to put the stop to the sale. They make the choice when they want to stop giving away their most prestigious products for free. They make the choice when they want to get rid of the lifetime deal and make it every single month on a monthly standpoint. They don't have to wait for 11/11. They don't have to wait for Black Friday. They don't have to wait for any holiday seasons whatsoever, right? They can do it anytime that they want, just like you. It's your business. It's your life. It's your product. It's your service. You can create your own deals. For your own personal life, you can live your own life. You can make your own decisions. When you want to go shopping, you don't have to wait until 11/11 to go shopping. You don't have to wait until Black Friday to buy all your things. You can if you want to save money, right? That's the whole mindset. That's the whole mentality out of everything. But what I notice, and this is really funny, sometimes, of course, you get really, really good deals. Sure, I get that. But this year, for whatever reason, for some of the products that I was looking at, whether it's, gadgets or something else, the 11/11 deal, and I was looking to buy some things as recently as last week. And they already had those countdown timers. And they said, wait until 11/11 to buy this because you're going to get a special deal. What kind of special deal? I was curious. And apparently, if I waited an extra 10 days and bought the product on 11/11 instead of early November or late October, I would save on 11/11. In other words, today, I would save a whopping 5 ringgits, not $5, not 5 USD, okay? 5 ringgits. Divide that by 4 or 4.05 or 4 point whatever. That's how much it is in USD. So roughly around $1.25, something like that. So if I wait 10 days to take advantage of this special deal, I would save a whopping $1, $1 USD and some change. Is that worth it? Is that really something to be excited about? Is that something that I should be waiting on when I can actually already get access to my products or a week ago? No. Okay. So again, more of the story. It's your life. It's your decision to make. Do you want to wait around? Do you want to wait for the right opportunity? Whether you are providing a sale or taking advantage of a sale, does it have to be on a special day like 11/11? I say no. Forget about 11/11 because after 11/11, there's also 12/12. After 12/12, there's 1/1, 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, 5/5, 6/6, 7. You get the point. There is always any reason that you can think of that you can make up yourself to provide any type of deal that you want. So on a business standpoint, on a business perspective, no, you don't have to wait for any special days. It is your life. It is your choice to make. Choose to do what is best for you. And if you're talking about the whole divine intervention thing, and you see a number that you always see, whether it's 11/11 or 1227, like what I used to see, or some other people see other sets of numbers that are important to them, then look it up. See if it's for you. See if it's something that you want to believe in. Try it out. See if it makes a difference in your life, in the impact that it makes, in your success, in your happiness, in your appreciation for your life. Because at the end, nothing else matters except if you feel like it matters. Nothing else matters unless it's worth it to you, unless it's valuable to you. And no one else can define what is value, you guessed it, except for you. Okay, so with all of that said, everything that I just mentioned, everything that we talked about today, or anything that we always talk about, on these live streams, in my videos, on my posts, take everything with a grain of salt because it's not going to be for everybody. We understand that. But whatever else that you feel like would be helpful to you, I highly recommend that you do what is the best for you and your family. Very cool. So going back to some of our comments before we wrap it up for today. Jessica is saying, Janice, yes, let's connect. So it's great that I see all of you are connecting with one another. This is the point of our community. And of course, if you want, all of you are cordially invited to be an official part of our community. Go to simonleon.com/mastermind. Again, it's simonleon.com/mastermind, and you will be a part of our humble small mastermind group, which will continue to grow. Johnny is saying, thanks, Sai. Thank you to you as well, Johnny, for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you. Jessica is saying, thank you, Simon. As always, it's been a pleasure and insightful. Thank you very much for your kind words. At the end of the day, it is your responsibility. Yep. Whether it's business, whether it's spiritually, whether it's just generally appreciating and being happy with your life, being grateful for what you already have, it is your own decision to make. Jessica is saying to be or not to be, to do or not to do. Those are the questions, right? And she's saying it's your free will and choice. Johnny adds on, don't waste your blessings in mundane opportunities. Make sure that whatever you choose to do, it is a good use of your time. It is not wasting your time. It is something that will contribute towards being a better person for you as well. Robin is saying thanks, Simon, with a whole bunch of hearts. Is it this or this? I don't know what the cool kids do these days on photos on TikTok, some type of a heart emoji thing, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not any good in any of that, but you get what I mean. Thank you very much. Much appreciation. Right back at you for everyone else. Jessica is saying, it's your life. Reminds me of the Bon Jovi song, except it's my life, right? It's your life. Seize the opportunity and take responsibility for your life and be the master of your own destiny. It is your own destiny, and you are the one and only master for it. Nobody can make that choice and be that person for you except for you. So there you go. Make sure that you do what is right. Janice is saying, thank you, Simon, for going live today. Have to watch the replay. Yes, you do, because we started going live when it was still 4-5 a.m. your time. So understandably, you were not up and ready to watch it just yet. But please, when you do watch the replay, continue to comment as if you're commenting on the live, because we always want to see at which point of the content is making an impact for you, what you want to contribute on, your thoughts and processes for all of those, so that we know the kind of things that you're interested in to kind of compile for future sessions as well. So Janice, thank you for joining us as often as you can live, and for watching the replays whenever you're not able to join us live. So with all that said, congratulations and thank you all for yet another amazing and fun session. Definitely connect with me if you haven't already, not only on my websites that you see over here, but of course on my YouTube as well as Facebook. Keep those notifications turned on, subscribe, like, follow, so that whenever we go live, the next time we go live, you will be able to join us live and we will be able to have fun conversations just like what we're having today. But for those of you who are with us here today, live or in person or anywhere else, it is 2:30 p.m. for me. We haven't gone out for our daily walks and exercise and everything yet, so we're going to be doing that right after this, and we're going to enjoy the rest of our afternoon. You do the same wherever you might be. Have a good day, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, have a good night. Do what you need to do to be the best version of yourself as always. And of course, it should almost be 11:11 everywhere in the world, almost, except PST and I think either Mountain Time, is that right after, or Central Time, whatever it might be. 11:11 is coming up. You have yourself a great day. Go shopping, go create deals, whatever it is that you need to do. And I will catch you on the next one. Cheers.